Hey everyone, it's Sani. I'm going to show you how to quickly transform your look from a daytime makeup here to a nighttime makeup, either this look or this one here. And I'm going to show you how to do the original daytime makeup in this as well. So it's really important in the morning when you're doing your makeup, you already need to think about the nighttime look. So certain things on how you do your base and what colors you're using on your eyes and kind of like how you lay the base for the nighttime look is important later on, so that it'll save time, because often people don't have that much time to, you know, waste in between office and party. So I am gonna show you the daytime look, then I'm going to show you how to change into the kind of red lip look, and then I'm going to show you how to change into this, the more kind of glittery smoky look. So I'm just going to get started. So I'm starting with a primer, and as a primer I'm using the Artist Secret Elixir Eclat by Embryolisse, and it's actually called, in French it translates as Makeup Artist Secret, and this is an amazing primer. It just gives you a glow. When I need my foundation to last all day, my foundation of choice is the Studio Fix Fluid by MAC, because it does not budge. And I just get a little bit out on the back of my hand. A little bit goes a long way. This was probably too much. And I'm an NC 25 and I'm using my ginormous Tarte buffer brush. I won't have to touch up my foundation at all when I use this. I know it's gonna like absolutely keep it in place. Last weekend I did a wedding that I started working at 8:30 a.m. and finished at 1:30 a.m. like the next day, and this seriously stayed in place. Then I'm going to take my Laura Mercier Undercover pot. Now this is genius for kind of taking along with you as well. Hold on, let me just open this. Because it has your under eye concealer, your kind of spots concealer, and then there's a little bit of powder underneath. So I'm gonna do my, I'm breaking out a little bit. It's like too many pre-Christmas party things. And I'm just breaking out. So I'm gonna cover them up first. And I'm just gonna move on to the under eye. I'm gonna keep using, this is the MAC 224. I'm just gonna keep using the same thing. Make it easy on yourself. So when you are doing your makeup for the office, on kind of like when you know that you're gonna have to change it on the fly, just keep a couple of things in mind so that you don't have to change everything. Like wear a very long lasting foundation, hydrating primer, and or a oil absorbing primer if you've got very oily skin, and then take like multi-purpose products with you that are easy to apply. This one I can apply without a brush, so I'm going to do 2 layers of blush because I want the blush to stay on. I'm going to start with Illamasqua's Sleek. This is a velvet blusher, so this is kind of like one of those cream to powder formulations, and I'm using the MAC, the number has worn off, I think this is a 187, I think. And I'm just using it before I powder. This is a super neutral blush with a little bit of a warm, peachy undertone. It's kind of like one of those blushes that is just like your cheeks but better. Not your lips but better, your cheeks but better. So I'm just using the Undercover pot from Laura Mercier under my eyes. And then for the rest of my face, I'm using Diffused Light by Hourglass. It's like, took me a minute there. Let me see. And I am using the Straight and Wavy 128 brush by Makeup Forever. This is a pretty new kind of powder brush for me. I like it, but I'm not crazy about it. I'm not crazy about any of the Makeup Forever brushes, sadly. Next I'm going to do brows, and I want them to last all day, all night for 24 hours. And brows is not something I want to retouch. So I'm going to use Illamasqua Brow Cake in Motto, and then I'm going to use the Illamasqua Sealing Gel. So I am just going to put a couple of drops on the back of my, oh my god, my stomach is rumbling, I haven't had breakfast. Back of my hand, and then I kind of just mix it in one corner of the Motto. I try and be quite practical where I put them. And then I am just doing the top edge of my brow first. I've got a brow video where I talk about that top edge thing, so if you're interested, I shall link to it from here. And then I brush it up, and then I kind of do the rest of the brow. But I really like this way. I mean, the brow cake stays on amazingly well anyways, but this way your brows will look exactly the same like the next morning, in case you fall asleep with your makeup on. I'm adding my second layer of blush using NARS Deep Throat and my favorite blush brush, the Bobbi Brown. And I'm not going insanely intense with the blush now for the daytime, but I just like to layer two different products because it really kind of gives you longevity. Also going to do a little bit of contouring now because I'm not going to bother like in the evening. I don't. Usually a change between the office and the party is quite quick, so contouring might not be something you have time for. So I'm going to do it now. So I'm going to use Illamasqua's Disobey blush and their Blush Up brush. Now this brush is a firm favorite. It's an amazing invention. So you go on to kind of like where your cheekbone is. You just firmly place your brush there, and then you just blush, blush up quite literally. You can use this for kind of normal blush as well, but I'm absolutely in love with it for contouring. You can really get that cheekbone in there. I just noticed I've got a weird thing over here. Sorry about that. Oh well. It's been there for half of the video already, so. Then super quick eyes. I like to do the eyes as a, so think about the look you want to go for later on. So what I'm going to do is, first important step, eye primer, just to make sure that your eyes really last. I'm in my last legs of the Too Faced Shadow Insurance. I will be buying more because I always buy more of this. I have been thinking of the NARS primer for the eyes, so let me know if you use it, but I'm just, because this just does this job so well, so I haven't switched. I'm then going to use a color tattoo. I seem to use a lot of these. This one is called Matte Brown. It's very similar to MAC's Groundwork, and I'm using MAC's brush that you know, even if you paint nail varnish over your brushes, if you wash them enough, the numbers come off. So this is a flat, big brush that I really like to use for cream shadows. So I'm just putting this all over my eyelid, up to the crease, maybe ever so slightly higher. I just like blend the edges with my finger. We're not being too precious about this one. I'm also just pulling it under my eyes a little bit. I just use the tip of the same brush. I'm one that if I can do two jobs with one brush, I will. So then you need to decide what eye makeup you want to kind of take with you. And for me, it's the Charlotte Tilbury Rock Chick palette. And so I'm going to use some of the shades now and then others. So I'm going to take the lightest shade, and I'm taking my beloved Suku brush, and I'm just going to run it on my brow bone. I'm going to keep using the same brush, and I'm just going to switch to the medium shade. And I'm going over the whole area where I just put the color tattoo. And this will, because of the primer and the color tattoo, this is going to stay in place the whole night. So whole day, whole night, whole morning, so that you can just add to it. I'm going to keep using the same color and a pencil brush, and I'm just going to take a little bit just under where we put the color tattoo. Just kind of, I don't know, it's not really deepening it very much, it's more setting it, I would say. Then a little bit of mascara. So I've got lash extensions, so I'm not actually putting any on my top lashes. On the lower lashes I'm going to put, this is a new Swedish label called Makiash, and this is their mascara volume and length. And the reason why I'm using this on my lower lashes is I know it doesn't transfer on me, and that's really important when your eye makeup is going to stay on all day, because even waterproof mascara does tend to transfer if you get oily under eyes. And then for the day, I'm just going to use a little bit of Charlotte Tilbury's Lip Cheat, I think that's the name of the color, lip liner, and just a Korres lip butter. And the Korres lip butter is like a very nice warm pink. It's called Pomegranate, and I just use it with my fingers. It's kind of just like a your lips but better type thing. And to finish it off, I'm going to use the Skindinavia Makeup Finishing Spray, and this will just, you know, make my makeup last even longer. And so that's kind of like my quick daytime look ready. Now, I have gone through a couple of steps that I wouldn't necessarily go through every day if I wanted to do a quick daytime look. But the idea is that I can now go into the night with minimal changes. And I'm going to show you two different looks to go into the night. Now, the first one is pretty much, you know, keeping everything as is and just going crazy red with the lips, which is my favorite if you only have a very little amount of time. And the second one is keeping the lips more neutral but amping up the eyes. So the first thing you're going to do is clean your lips if you still have lipstick left using Bioderma. And a little bit of the foundation will come out around your lips, don't worry about that. I dry my lips as well with the cotton. I'm adding a tiny bit of Vaseline, not too much. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fix the lip line to be really, really good, the lip contour. So I'm taking my concealer and a small concealer brush. This is by Space MK. And I'm using the heavier concealer. And I'm just going around the lips. It's excellent to do this if you're going for red lips, because it really helps you define. And then just using your finger kind of blend that in. When I go for a red for a party, I tend to go for a matte red because it's easier to maintain. It doesn't transfer too much on glosses and stuff like that. So for me, it's just practical. And I am using the number 7 Precision Lip Pencil, and the red is called, I'm not sure. Oh, it's called Fire. And I'm going to start at the outer edges, moving in. And because you've applied the concealer and the Vaseline, it's like this just goes on super, super smooth. And I do kind of fill in the lips as well. Then I'm going to go for well, for me, this is not a new red for MAC, but it's called All Fired Up, and it's a matte color, and it's a beautiful cherry color. And I am going to use it with a lip brush, because when I'm doing a red lip and I want it to be perfect, I do use a lip brush. I'm using the amazing Tom Ford one. And this is like a It's like a cherry red. It's a little bit more cherry than Ruby Woo and not quite as dry. Then I'm just going to add a little bit of highlighter. I'm using Topshop's Prism. This is such an easy highlighter to kind of carry along. So I tend to, like, if I'm going out, because you can just kind of like brush it on and you're ready to go. You don't need to be too fussy about it. I also do a quick kind of powder check under my eyes and around the nose. If you're having your picture taken, around the nose is really important, in the middle of my forehead. So when I'm doing a party look with red lip, I do like to keep the eyes pretty neutral. So I'm not going to do anything at all to the eyes. So this is the first and the quickest kind of way to do a party look. And I'm going to show you a different way to kind of update your day look. Now, I'm going to take the lipstick off and put my old kind of the Korres lip butter back because I want you to see it from the same starting point, so to speak. So this is the nighttime look where we're going to amp up the eyes a little bit more. So I'm going to keep using this same palette. I'm using a Sigma brush, but this is actually, this is an E25 and usually they're longer. This is one of those that comes free with Sigma. And I like to take short brushes with me when I'm kind of going out. Sucre is amazing for that because they're already short. I don't want to, you know, bring too much stuff along. And I'm just going to go straight into that darkest color. It's a beautiful matte kind of a coffee brown, I would say. And I'm going to go into the crease and we're going to start really darkening up the look. Just go for it, basically. And also do the outer third. Taking the Sigma and I'm blending that edge out. The Sigma, oh my god, I called a Sucre Sigma. I'm so sorry, Sucre. That's really bad. From the opposite end of the scale. Now the best way to collect a little bit of fallout is with a cotton pad. And if there's still like, if it feels like it stays a little bit dark, I'll show you what to do about that in a second. I don't like to add a lot of powder to catch it though, because then the powder really like accentuates under eye dryness and wrinkles. You can of course do this with a cotton pad or a tissue as well, but personally I find this way of doing makeup a little bit fiddly. I don't like it. So, but that is like a surefire way. So if you place something underneath, not to get fallout, but on myself I rarely use it. On clients I do actually. I'm then going to take a little bit of the Illamasqua Sealing Gel again, put it on the back of my hand, and I've got a pencil brush that I've loaded up with that same color, and I'm going to do my under eye and just like the corner, like a tiny V with this color, is just kind of deepening it up. When I say under eye, I'm not going insanely in. I'm going to add a little bit of L'Oreal Blockbuster. Is this called Blockbuster? Yes, it is. Liner. This is out of kind of this type of felt tip liners, my absolute favorite because you can smudge it out and it really stays put. So I'm literally just kind of like dabbing it onto my lash line. And then I'm going to use that same pencil brush to smudge out the line, just to smoke it out. Now, if I didn't have lash extensions on, I would put on some fake lashes right now. You, of course, don't have to, but you can always add some more mascara. Now, for the waterline, you've got two different choices. Now, you can either do black. I love Urban Decay's Perversion for that. Just on the waterline, really intensify it and make it a smoky eye. But because I feel like I want to look bright and sparkly for a Christmas party, and if you've had a long day at the office, you want to look awake, I'm actually going to go white. And I often don't use white on my waterline, but for a party I do. So I'm going to use NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk, and I'm not only going to put it on my waterline, I'm also going to put it on in the inner corner of my eye just to brighten it up. So it really kind of like bling, kind of brightens your eyes. I'm then taking the very glittery color from Charlotte Tilbury palette, and I'm just gonna like literally use my finger, and I'm gonna pat the glitter on top of my eyeshadow, just patting it in. You absolutely don't have to be careful where this kind of goes on top of your eyeshadow. It like goes with all of it, and it's just creating that extra sparkle. But because I can't be, you know, satisfied with just a tiny little bit of sparkle, we're also going to add a little bit of Makeup Forever's I don't know how to say this, Holodium powder. Holodium powder? That, anyways. So, Illamasqua Sealing Gel, yet again. I use this stuff so much. Back of my hand, and then I'm using the tiny Louise Young number 18 brush. So the Holodium powder is absolutely amazing. So I dip my brush in that sealing gel, dip it in the Holodium powder, and then where I put the milk pencil, I'm just going to add that on top of it. I'm actually going to add a little bit more than just there. But it's good to use the sealing gel when you're using glitters, because you want it to stay and not transfer to the rest of your face, basically. So for the under eyes, if you feel like you have a little bit of fallout, or if you feel like they could be fresher, oops, sorry, need to get a little cotton pad. What I do is I wipe off as much as I can, gently, just with a cotton pad. Then I don't take off anything else. I go back into the same under eye color, and I'm using my 224. And I'm using the 224, I'm not going to use anything like that carries more color, because I really just want to blend it out. And you can absolutely put this on the top even if you have a tiny bit of powder left. So I just kind of clean out under the eyes, but please use a tiny amount. You don't want to cake it on. And then again, you'll need to set that. I do love this combo. It's just so practical. Bobbi Brown has a similar kind of product as well. So because the eyes are darker and the lips are going to be neutral, I'm going to add some blush. I'm going to add Illamasqua's Hussy. Love this blush. Absolutely love it. It is a coral pink, but you do have to be careful with it. It is quite pigmented. And I'm just going to add it really at the highest point of my cheeks. So I tap it on, I get rid of the extra product, and then I blend it out. For the lips, all I'm going to do is I'm taking off the previous product, and if you don't have any lip liner left, you can touch that up. I might actually touch it up a little bit. And then I'm going to use a new favorite product. It's by the Lipstick Queen, and it is called The Hustle. And it's a neutral, it's a very nude shade, but it reflects, it has pink and red glitter on it. But it's a matte, it's difficult to describe. It's kind of like a lip gloss because it has sparkle, but it's a matte lipstick. It just reflects beautifully, but it stays on better than a lip gloss. And because I kind of want my lips to be nude but festive, I would say. So now you've transformed your daytime look into more of a glittery smoky eye look with a neutral lip. So you can go either way really, but when you start with a really good neutral base, it's easy to change your look later on in the day with kind of minimal changes. I do, after every change, I do like to use a little bit of makeup finishing spray just to kind of set it all. But thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have amazing parties around this holiday season, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.